Hi, welcome to my presentation. My name is Zhang Shenyi. My nickname is Nina. Today, I will present about the L'Oreal's operation management. And my student ID and my major has been put on this slide. And let's get started to my presentation. So generally, my presentation consists of four parts: marketing strategies and business strategies, culture management, political, economic, and digital initiative and strategic acquisitions. And at last, I will share some of my opinions on the suggestions and recommendations on the development of L'Oreal's operation management. First of all, let's talk about one of the most outstanding aspects of L'Oreal, which is marketing strategies and business strategies. We will see some statistics here. Well, first of all, we are here to the Asian market. Because of the large populations, L'Oreal utilized more cultural approaches as their strategies, such as co-branding and social media. For example, the picture on the right-hand side, the lipstick brand of L'Oreal is co-branding with the Chinese National Museum. And then later they do the marketing on the TikTok, the Chinese version of TikTok, we call it Douyin. And then they send the product to the influencers on Douyin and then ask them to do some advertisement of their product. And therefore, they expand the advertisement of their products. Later, we are here to the European market. L'Oreal utilized more social type of strategies related to people's mental growth. Just like the advertisement on the left-hand side here, they integrate female empowerment into the product and following the current trend. In American market, which accounted for 32% of the total sales, as everyone knows, because the market entry and exit in America are extremely fast. So L'Oreal have to use the frequent advertisement and promotion rate to increase their exposure rate. Just like the picture on the left-hand side, they utilize buy one, get one, buy two, get one, and then some 20% off, some promotion like this to increase the exposure rate. Even though the African, Orient, and Pacific region has a very low proportion of total sales, which is just 3%, they still set up the barber training club as the industrial construction. So they didn't just give up on this area. They still do some investment and do some research in this market, and then later they will make a successful market entry, and then keep building the industry in this area. So overall, L'Oreal choose highly targeted strategy for each market. And other than this, I would like to say they utilize differentiation strategies and cost leadership at the same time. The reason why I say that is that, just like I said in the previous slide, in European markets, they combined the extra value, the attached value from the female empowerment into the product itself. So it is, their perceived value of the product is actually, way higher than other competitors because they are trying to integrating all the attached value to their product. And other than this, they didn't set their price of product like high as a luxury brand like Givenchy or Chanel, Dior. They didn't do that. They always keep their price affordable and not too expensive. So from my opinion, from my point of view, they're combining differentiation strategies and cost leadership together. So they are making their brand as high quality with affordable prices. And for the highly targeted strategies, just like the example in China, every theory strategy that they use is actually matching up with the characteristic of that market. For the business level strategies, they utilize horizontal and vertical integration. For horizontal integration, they do some acquisitions such as NYX, such as Lange and some other brand. They do corporations or acquisitions. And for vertical integration, they cooperate with the retailers, wholesalers, distributors, and manufacturers, suppliers, and producers, and so on. Other than this, they also use the strategic alliances. And with all of these strategies, they consolidate the role of the worldwide leader of cosmetic manufacturing. In part two, I would like to say that even though the inter-company multiculturalism is very important, or it is determinant for the international company for the internationalism, right? But for L'Oreal, its intra-company multiculturalism is way more genius. So this part will be mainly concerned on the international HR management. And let's say within L'Oreal, not just some normal employees like normal office worker or some sales or something. They didn't just like recruit this kind of position internationally, but they also internationally recruit the positions at headquarters and also deploy some professionals with the multicultural backgrounds in new product development. So in other words, they are trying to internationalize the whole management team from the top to the bottom. So this is their very smart HR management for the internationalism. And in part 3, I'm trying to introduce this political economic of L'Oreal with a case example between China and L'Oreal to show you how L'Oreal responds very positively to any kind of policy changes. In 2015, China cut the tariffs on goods, including skincare products, including some cosmetic products, which L'Oreal is actually producing, right? To stop the domestic spending, because as everyone knows, Chinese are traveling around the world, and at the same time, they're also using money around the world, or I would like to say that splurging overseas. And under such a policy changes, L'Oreal is lowering their prices of most of their exported product to China. But what surprised us is that instead of carrying out the measures that run counter to the policy changes, L'Oreal chose to make a price adjustment in accordance with the Chinese policies positively. So that's smart. That's what I would like to introduce to you. And last but not least, I would like to talk about the digital initiative and strategic acquisitions of L'Oreal. So totally there are 3 topics covered: e-commerce, digitalizations, and acquisitions. First of all, let's talk about the e-commerce. As you can see the bar graph here, the consolidated e-commerce shares of L'Oreal total sales worldwide from 2015 to 2020. As you can see, the e-commerce shares are actually rapidly rising year by year. So it is proving that L'Oreal is trying to reach more consumers by using the e-commerce because the huge potential of expansion with technology. Therefore, in 2018, L'Oreal acquired Modibase, an AI company that show that consumers digitally, that's how the makeup is gonna be like. They show the consumers like how they will look like after using their product. So this app is actually proving that L'Oreal is trying to using digitalization to support and improve the e-commerce, which I just mentioned in the last slide, right? Similarly, the acquisition of Modibase is also proving that L'Oreal is trying to utilize the acquisition to support and improve the digitalizations. Well, in this point, from L'Oreal's point of view, the development and achievement of this company is not just buy a company, acquire a company, or grow their own brand, respectively, but both of them at the same time. They acquire a company and then grow it at the same time. So it's very efficient and effective way to conduct the strategy. So as you can see, this 3 steps, e-commerce, acquisitions, and digitalization, is actually forming a sustainable circle as L'Oreal's digital initiative. And this successful construction is owing to the first mover advantage that they obtained after seeing the potential growth on e-commerce. So I would like to say they are very smart and they are very foreseeing when they see the growth on e-commerce. And last, I would like to share some of my opinion and suggestions or recommendation to L'Oreal on the development on the operation management. First of all, I would like to say I recommend L'Oreal to improve their direct-to-consumer sales channel. Well, on the one hand, we both know that, as I just mentioned in the previous slide, L'Oreal is actually proving their e-commerce in the recent decade and trying to implement their strategy that's sending consumer from their website to Amazon.com, Walmart.com, or Target.com to purchase online. Well, I mean, this is very smart because it can cut off the investment and cost to maybe maintain the IT or maintain the website, right? It's very smart, but it also lead to the result that they lost the control on the consumer experience, which also leading to the loss of control on the potential of higher margin and the strategic data analytics. So I would like to say this is a good way and have a bad way as well, has a bad effect as well. And on the other hand, even though they are making a lot of effort on building e-commerce or building the digital purchasing channel, but currently they are still relying on department stores and retailers and drugstores or something like this. Consequently, I recommend L'Oreal to hurry up to improve their direct-to-consumer sales channels. And the second suggestion that I would like to give to L'Oreal is to utilize more statistics and data on marketing while combining the marketing with the value propositions. I drew this conclusion because I made a comparison between L'Oreal and other competitors. So let's talk about L'Oreal first. Well, L'Oreal actually paid a lot of attention to combine the marketing and value propositions. And as everyone knows, under the sector of marketing, there are a lot of sections such as advertising or branding and so forth. So they make a lot of effort on these sections. And just like, let's take an example from a previous slide. In the European market, they integrate the female empowerment into the product, right? So they're actually attaching extra value on the perceived value of the product so that the perceived value of the product will be increasing and rising. And they do it is for making the customer able to resonate with the product, with the brand itself. So in another word, it's kind of like building the bridges between the brand and the customers, or in another word, I prefer to say they're building the loyal relationship between the customer and the brand. Well, I mean, I totally agree with that. It's very smart because this marketing is actually like the psychological effect that happens when people doesn't even aware of it. So I totally agree with that. And also it goes without saying that any kind of branding, marketing have to be backed up or supported by a good quality. So L'Oreal always keep their product quality at least in the upper class of the industry or among all of the competitors, so that the customer's expectation can be met up with the good quality itself, right? So for L'Oreal, instead of just attracting the customer to buy their product, I think they're actually building a complete satisfactory customer journey. So this is very smart. Well, to be honest, they are doing very well on that. But as everyone knows, currently the generation or the customer is becoming younger and younger, and the education content of the consumer is becoming higher and higher as well. They prefer to believe more in some data and statistics that is able to prove that the product is safe, is clear, is out of any kind of chemicals that is harmful to our skin, right? So just like P&G is one of the great competitors of L'Oreal, right? When they're doing the marketing, they utilize a lot of data and statistics to show that their product is of great quality and safe to use. So they win a large market share as well. But I would recommend L'Oreal to utilize more statistics and data on marketing on the basis that they have combined the marketing with the value proposition. If they would like, they would like to, achieve larger market shares and internationalize their brand, it's a kind of like combined advantage of L'Oreal itself and their competitors, so that they can make their brand even better. So this is my opinion. And also, at last, I would like to say L'Oreal is a very successful enterprise that worth everyone to explore more and more. The above is all on presentation and what I have found about L'Oreal. So thank you so much for attention. Thank you.